Hello, I'm Scotland. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can tell by today's title, we are doing a November TBR, okay? These are always just a guess because I truly am a mood reader and I never actually get through the books that I plan to read, but we're really hoping that since it's the last 2 months of the year, and there's a lot of books that I want to finish this year, that I will stick to the goal of reading these books. Right now, I'm currently reading All's Well by Mona Awad, and I'm about, I want to say, where's my bookmark? Probably around 30% of the way into the book. 1/3 of it, I'd say maybe a little bit over, so probably like 40% into the book, and I'm really enjoying it. It's by, like I said, Mona Awad, and it's about a theater professor who is very adamant on putting on All's Well That Ends Well by Shakespeare for her Shakespearean class, I think, or cohort. And the students are like so against it, but she's also battling with chronic pain, and it's a really interesting story on first like female pain, and I think it's very interesting. I think I may have said this in a vlog already, but I think it's very interesting how dismissive people are of female pain, or like the pain that women go through, even though like it's so ingrained in us. So I'm really enjoying this. I am taking quite a long time to get through it, but it's just because my brain has rotted away while reading ACOTAR, so now it's very hard to read something a little more highbrow, but I'm enjoying it. Also, please excuse the lighting change. I'm currently in a thunderstorm watch and a tornado watch, so it's getting dark quick, and it's also literally 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so let that be what it is. Next, I'm also wanting to read Ace of Spades. Now, if you watched my book outlet haul, I was so excited to get this book because I have been wanting it for so long, and I just haven't been in the mindset to actually read it now that I have it. Like, we all know that half the fun of getting books and being into books is actually buying them and not quite really reading them, but I do want to get to this book. I have read about 30 pages of it, and I also had the audiobook at one time so I could do both of them at the same time, and I just simply didn't do it, and I let the book be auto-returned. But yes, for those of you who don't know, Ace of Spades is set at a private school, I believe, and it's about 2 prefects at the school who are kind of being pitted against each other by having all of their deepest, darkest secrets being revealed to the school, and it's described as Get Out meets Gossip Girl. Get Out meets Gossip Girl. So I am enjoying it. Like, I do like it. I just, like I said before, my brain is so rotted by ACOTAR that I cannot think of anything else to read but the entire series. So I'm hoping to get to this. And then also another book that I was so excited to finally find. I want to read Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. It's truly a surprise to no one, this book, okay? And if it is, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I've had this book also for about 2 months now, and I also had the audiobook and I didn't finish it. I let the audiobook be auto-returned. So I'm still working on reading this one, and I'm currently, oh, I don't even think this is my bookmark. So yes, if those of you who don't know Legendborn, I actually don't know what this book is about. I just know that it's very anticipated and a lot of people really like it, and I would like to read it. And I also know that the second book in the series probably came out today, or it comes out sometime in November, which is called Bloodmarked. I'm honestly not a hardcover book girl, but literally the past 3 books I've shown you is hardcover, but I found this one at Half Price Books for I think $9, and I was very happy for it. That being said, it's going to be a very long time before I get the second book because I don't want to pay for the second book, which is probably going to be like $20. But that's why I'm not in big a rush to read this, but I would like to read it soon, just because I'm getting more into the mood of wanting to read something more magical and fantastical. So, Legendborn. I have 3 more books. Like I said, we're really trying to knock out the TBR for by the end of the year so I can actually get new books for the 2023 year, but it's not looking very likely. But the next book I have is Supper Club by Laura Williams. This book is about a woman in her 30s who struggles with eating and also is really concerned about how much space she's taking up in her relationships and her world, and honestly her coming to grips with getting over that fear and also helping other women get over that fear. It is a fiction book and it sounds really good because they all join like this really big eating group and they just sit there and eat together. So I don't know, I think it's really interesting. It focuses on female friendships and also food, what I think is really interesting. So Supper Club, I do hope to maybe read it, and it's also a shorter book, so I'm hoping that since it's shorter in paperback I'll be able to get through it pretty quickly. Call me crazy, but I think hardbacks are hard to read just because they're so hard to hold. So next I have Happy Hour by Marlo Granados, and I've also started reading this book, and I think I'm also probably about 20 pages into it, and I did enjoy it. I actually really like it. I just haven't finished it for whatever reason. So this one is about 2 female best friends who are living in New York City together in like a 1-bedroom, and they're sharing a bed together, and it's basically about them being a menace to New York society. Truly, that's all it is. So I'm really excited to read this book. I think I may have mentioned this before. The lighting truly all over the place. I may have mentioned this before, but I am a big fan of books that truly have no plot and it's just character building or character development, and this is one of those books. Now I do agree that they do take longer to read because you don't have a lot of action points to get to that's moving the story along, but I do think it's interesting to see how authors or like screenwriters are able to develop characters without having real action points, and I think it feels more realistic and more lifelike when that happens. So I'm really interested in reading this book and I am excited to get to it. Now lastly, this book is completely unnecessary for me to read because I've already read it, but I am in the biggest mood to reread it, I think, and actually annotate it, because this was honestly a book that I just happened to come across a couple years ago in in Half Price Books, and I remember reading it and being like, what the heck is happening? I have no clue. I'm just gonna let it happen to me. But now that I know what it, like, I finished it, I loved it, and I would like to go back and annotate it. And that one is Bunny by Mona Awad. This one became viral very quickly, and I hate to be the one to say it, but I found this book before it became viral, so. Yeah, I loved it. I want to read it again because I haven't annotated it. And now that I know what happens, I'll probably get through it much quicker and notice a lot of different things, and I think it'll be fun to read since I'm reading All's Well right now, if that makes sense. So like I will be able to see, because I think she wrote this one before she wrote All's Well, so I just like to be able to see the difference in her writing style between 2 books. But I've already read it, I just want to read it again. So yes, those are the books that I hope to get through in November. Unfortunately, I think I may have to like cave in to my ACOTAR thirst and read A Court of Wings and Ruin, but I'm really trying to hold out because I don't want to rush the series. I want to take my time with it, but it's making it really hard to want to read any other book, if I'm being honest. I just really want to know what happens in the series, but we're being patient. Very short and sweet video. I hope you enjoy, and in the comments tell me what you're reading this month, or also let me know what you are most excited for when it comes to November and the holiday season. Thanks for watching.